Hi, I'm Ivanka. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Madrid, Spain. But since I was maybe 16 years old, I've been living in San Antonio, Texas, and then I moved around. So I'm not really sure from everywhere.
Where are you now?
Right now, I'm in Killeen, Texas for the summer with
Cool.
my sister.
Why'd you want to go to law school?
First, I wanted to go to law school to make a lot of money. And then I wanted to go to law school because it became a way for me to speak out. I never got a chance to do that when I was younger. So I learned as I grow up that maybe I can help other people be more vocal and I can be their voice.
Awesome. If you had to choose another field, what would it be?
Um, I would probably work like at a tanning salon, or if I didn't need money, if I could just do whatever I want, I would do something that is totally brainless, like work at a tanning salon, or I would work with like maybe toddlers and like pre-K age children.
Nice. What'd you major in for your undergrad?
So I have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a Bachelor of Science in Criminology. And
No.
then I have a Master's in Business Administration.
Where were you when you found out you got into Harvard Law School?
I was in Madrid, Spain. I actually had my interview when I was in Paris. I was in Spain visiting for like a few months, and then I got the email inviting me to the interview while I was in Spain. But the interview was scheduled for when I was going to be in Paris, and I did that. And then when I returned back to Madrid is when I got my acceptance voicemail. I still have it actually.
Oh, no way. How did people react when you told them you got in?
Uh, People that knew me very close, they cried. We were in disbelief. We totally didn't think I was gonna. I never even intended to apply. I just did, just because, and I absolutely never thought I was going to be accepted. And we were just like overwhelmed.
Nice. What were you most skeptical about Harvard Law School, and have you experienced it?
So my biggest worry is that I was not going to fit in. I come from a low income background. I am a single mom. I was an orphan. I'm a disabled veteran, and I'm non-traditional age. I'm 36 years old. So I thought I wasn't going to fit in. I thought coming to a school like that, everyone was going to be much more um, like socially advantaged than me, and maybe like a lot smarter, maybe impersonable. But I found out that it actually was not the case. Everybody who I've come across is so kind and understanding. And yes, we're all different, but I think we all sort of fit in because we're so different. There's not any other person like me or like anyone else at that school. So I think our differences are what make us all sort of gel better together.
Nice. What is something you know now that you wished you known before going to law school?
Well, I wish I was gonna I wish I had known I was gonna be doing school online because I never would have actually moved up there.
What?
Uh,
Yeah.
that would be it.
Nice. What song describes Harvard Law School?
I thought about this a lot. If I have to pick one, I would say like whatever it takes, and I don't even know who sings that. Only the chain smokers or something. But I always listen to that song. It is so motivating, and I just feel like it depicts like Harvard because everyone who goes there is so excited and wants to change the world, and I just feel like they're willing to do whatever whatever work it takes.
How is Harvard Law compared to the movies?
Different. Uh, the movie's depicted as a very cutthroat type of school and very difficult to maneuver, and it's actually the opposite. I think so far through all my stages in life and all the educational institutions I have been, it has been the most welcoming and understanding and helpful, and all the professors have made themselves available. There's no one like everyone's helpful. No one's trying to like compete. It's good.
What's your favorite thing about Harvard?
I would say the exposure to the people, just like everyone coming from a different background and having different experiences, sitting in the classroom, and every time someone speaks some just a few words, you're like, wow, oh my God, I never thought of that. And wow, that person's amazing. How could they even like put that together? I never would have been able to do that. And they think the same thing of me, which is weird because I feel like I obviously can't compete with them. But it's just the collaborative amount of experiences. I never would have been able to have that anywhere else, I think.
What's an essential law school item?
Like the book holders. The book
Yeah,
holders are
yeah.
a game changer, man, because you're reading so much, and like my neck started to hurt and my lower back started to hurt. I couldn't read from the couch, from the chair, from the table. So when I found like a book holder that would hold my book up without me having to do like this all the time, that was a game changer.
What was your favorite fall semester class?
I had I had so many. I would say many for different reasons. Like I liked contracts because the professor was like very structured. I liked crim law because the topics were very interesting. You know, I liked torts because of my section leader. He made it very like interesting and it was very interactive. Um, I also liked my Civ Pro professor because he was hilarious and he just could make a story about anything happening. So I don't. They're all favorite for different reasons.
What was your favorite spring class, if you have one?
Uh,
Or what was your spring of like?
my favorite spring class was actually constitutional law.
Oh,
I love the way the professor taught it. He was very, very interesting. His stories and his scenarios were, you know, timely. We did a lot of stuff about COVID, and it just seemed like perfect timing for that class. So I would say that was my favorite by far.
what did you pick your J term?
I did leadership fundamentals with Professor Westphal, and I loved him so much. We actually became friends, and we have like coffee chats every couple of weeks to check up on each other. And we're working on some miscellaneous projects together. He's introduced me to a few of his friends that work in MIT. Yeah, it was a good experience.
What's how do you like on campus dining?
So I did a lot of on-campus dining. Actually, it was easy for me. We had our first class ended at 10 a.m. in the fall and started at 1 p.m. And so there was no point in leaving off campus. I thought it was fine. I think that the prices are reasonable. I think the only thing that could be improved is maybe having like a couple of refrigerators available or a couple of microwaves available so that you can bring your food and store it somewhere, and have availability to use the microwaves so that you don't have to go home.
Did you have a favorite off-campus place to eat?
There's so many. Tate, the Indian place. I had a Brazilian place, Muqueca, I think it's the name. Um, I mean, too many to list off. I think every single place I've tried in Cambridge is delicious.
Nice. How much reading do you have per day?
I have to be honest, like, I don't think I ever got through all of it in that day, but I think the assignment was about 100 to 150 pages a day.
How much sleep do you get?
Well, I didn't get that much because after doing homework, I have two kids and they need dinner and showers and time. Even though I fed them yesterday, they're unhappy. They want to eat again. Um, so my sleep time was limited to about 4 to 5 hours a day.
Why'd you choose Harvard?
I feel like um, my little daughter, when I was telling her that that if I got accepted to a school like Harvard, I was going to have to move away because we lived in Texas. And at that time, I thought I was going to have to leave her in Texas, her and my other daughter with my sister, because I didn't know if I was going to be allowed to live off campus or if I was going to have to be in the dorms. And she told me, Mommy, I told her if this is going to be a problem, I don't have to go to Harvard. And she said, Mommy, if Harvard says yes, you have to go. Like this was such a big deal for her. And I felt like I have to go because she is watching me and she needs to understand that people like me and people like her are accepted and wanted and worthy and deserve to go to places like Harvard. So that's why
Are you happy at Harvard?
I'm happy.
What would
I
you
mean,
say?
it's not perfect. It's like a family. It's got its issues. Anything can always be improved, but as compared to other institutions that I've been part of, um, I'm happy. I have no complaints.
Nice. What are Harvard's strengths?
I feel like the administration is respectful of the student body. I feel like they're open to conversations and negotiation. That is not always the case anywhere else or everywhere else. Um, I feel like they really try to hear what the students want. They can't always accommodate everyone, but I feel like the fact that they're open, and in the past have implemented some changes says a lot about them.
What's your number one complaint?
I would say that they don't allow, or at the moment, I don't know, but that you can't repeat a course. So you can't, Like if you want to get a better grade in a course in another school, you could just retake the class, pay for it again. But at Harvard, I'm not really sure that that's an option. And so that would be the one thing I don't, I would like to be able to do that. Like if I want a better grade in a class, I want to be able to pay for it and take the class.
What professor has made the biggest impact on you?
I have many. Professor Hansen has made, he's life changing. He's my section leader, and my Civ Pro professor also has made an impact. He's shown me like a lot of compassion, and he's worked with me on a lot of things. Professor Tierney has helped me to get an internship with the AG's office at the last minute when my internship was canceled because of COVID. Um, I've had another professor, my crim law professor. She brought her brother on like the last class that we had because he had been an innocent man convicted and incarcerated for 24 years. So she brought him to class and showed us that like because of him and because he was in prison for so long, that's what made her go to Yale Law School and graduate. And she helped him like be released and get his name exonerated. I can go on and on about
Wow.
like all of them who've made a life-changing impact.
What is the grading system like?
Well, I feel like the grading system is a little bit inequitable. It's supposed to be like on a curve, but not all professors use the curve. I feel like if it's on a curve, they either all use it or none use it. So I don't think it's bad, right? Because professors are helpful and they don't try to fail anyone. It's really difficult for someone to fail, but at the same time, I don't think that they realize it that from our perspective, if all of the professors don't use the entireness of the curve, then it inevitably results in inequities among the students.
Do your professors hold office hours outside of class?
Yes,
How much
all
reading?
of
Nice. How much reading and writing is required for your courses?
reading a lot. I would say, with all the classes, I would say average per class per day is 30 pages, and over a week is about three to 400 pages a week. Writing is not very much, about 4,000 words per class on one exam. That's about it.
Is there a lot of opportunities for collaborative work or group presentations?
I would say in the classrooms I've only had 2 out of 9 classes, 2 out of 9 or 10 classes that have required group projects. However, if you join student organizations and if you join like extracurricular activities or you do internships or research assistant type work, which are all available, then you have the opportunity to work on teams many, many, many times.
How big are your classes?
So far, they've been mostly 80 people per class, except the winter course was about 30, and I think my elective was maybe 60-ish.
In one word, how would you describe your first year?
Extraordinary.
What's a typical day like?
You have about 3 to 4 classes, at least for the first year. You have about 3 to 4 classes a day, um, or up to between 2 to 4 classes a day. And you go to class between 8 to 5. Then after that is a lot of reading, and you fit in eating when you can, and it's like that throughout the week. At some points, you have receptions or events after school, and people want to hang out on the weekends and have fun too. So very busy, very busy.
What's your favorite place to study?
I normally study in my house on my couch. My daughters are old enough where they understand that I need time to study, and they as well need time to study. So we work well together like that. But at school, I would say studying in one of like the reserved rooms is the best place.
What's the social scene like?
Well, at school, you see people from all types of different backgrounds, socializing, talking, organizing, sometimes protesting, um, and then after school, you see everybody kind of hanging out, maybe meeting up to drink coffee, um, meeting up to go to karaoke, or maybe because of our situation, because of our our geographic location, sometimes apple picking or going to a different state, hiking, things like that.
Nice. What do you like to do on the weekends?
Well, this is not the story for everybody else because I like to spend time with my kids on the weekend, and I have to do things like grocery shopping, laundry, um, and normally I try to do all my studying and all my homework on the weekends so that I could have during the week a little bit more free time to fit in things like um, receptions or to fit in after school activities for my children.
What are your favorite things to do around Harvard?
My favorite thing became sleeping, but that never happened. So usually just getting together with new people and like meeting up for a few minutes for coffee on campus, or lately because of COVID, my favorite thing has been to meet up with people over like the online platforms and just network with different firms and find out like what types of law is out there and who likes to do what, just to try to get to know myself and what I want to do.
Nice. You said you lived off campus. Was it fairly easy to find somewhere to live?
Yes, I applied through Harvard University Housing, and they made it very easy because all of their places are sort of closely located to the school. Um, and it just seemed to be like the fastest, easiest way for me to find a place that I knew was going to be, taken care of by the landlord, where I wasn't going to have any problems. It was going to be conducive with my school, um, and was going to be close enough because I had no idea about like the layout of the city at that time.
How's the Wi-Fi?
I have good experience with Wi-Fi. I had never had a problem.
Is it easy to get around campus?
I think so. I mean, everything is within walking distance, maybe ten minutes throughout, well, through the law school and the divinity school and the undergrad school. It's all within walking distance.
Nice. Is career services helpful?
To me, they have. I've heard that for some other people, maybe not so much. But I already have a lot of working background and experience, so it was easy for me to talk to someone about what things I like already and to have a meaningful conversation. I think if I didn't have the experience that I do, I may not have found it as helpful because, they sort of are banking on you knowing what you want, and you're banking on them knowing what you think that they think you should want. And so for me, they've helped me with my resume, they've helped me with applications, they've connected me with internships, and so far so good.
Nice. What opportunities did you get involved in on campus?
So I am a student government representative last year, and I was involved with like the Women's Law Association and Child Youth Association and Family and Couples Association, Disabilities Association, a lot of different things. This year, I am still a student government representative. I am vice president of the Armed Forces Association, and I probably am going to be co-president of the Child and Youth Advocacy Association. Um, I applied to be a BSA, and I haven't heard back from them yet. I think they said sometime in July. So I'm going to be very busy.
Nice. What is one goal you have for next semester?
To get really, really good grades.
What changes do you hope to see on campus when it reopens post COVID-19?
Can you say that again?
What changes do you hope to see on campus once it reopens post COVID-19?
Um, I didn't really have a problem with many of the things that were happening before, so I'm not thinking of any changes, but maybe, um, uh, I don't know, just more kindness. I know everyone's inclusive and everything like that, but I want to see kindness in every day. I want to see people going out of their way to be kind and to be inclusive. And not that I didn't see it before, but I just want it purposefully done that way. Like I want people to actually take the time and be intentional about being nice and inclusive. I think we need that.
Nice. What sets you apart from other students here at Harvard?
A lot of things, and I think a lot of things sets them apart from me too. But I think maybe my age, maybe my experience as a mother, as an orphan, like as a impoverished child before, as a disabled veteran. Um, I've gone to other universities and other institutions. I've traveled all around the world. So I think just my diversity makes me different.
Nice. What are you hoping attending law school will provide you in the future?
Um, I really, really want to be helpful in a big, big, big way. I don't know how that's going to happen yet, but I really want to make an impact. I want to make a global impact. I know these are big dreams, but I feel like that was my purpose to come to a place like this, was so that I would have the credibility and the like um I don't know, educational background needed, the platform and the networks, the connections that I would need in order to be able to affect that kind of change.
Nice. What would you just say to someone who's thinking about applying?
I would say do it. I would say don't hesitate, bring your best. They're specifically looking for people who are different and who can bring something unique to the table. And they do not, Harvard doesn't care about your finances, your background, your experience, your education. There's nothing that you lose by applying. The worst they could say is no or not now. And if that happens, you don't lose anything. But what if they say yes? Take the chance.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.